Hey guys, today I'm going to be unboxing the Master Grade Gelgoog Cannon MSV Colors. So as you can see by the monotone box art here, this is a premium Bandai kit. There is a normal release Gelgoog Cannon version, but that's based on the 1.0, the original Master Grade Gelgoog. This one is based on the 2.0 Gelgoog. So of course it is like all in MSV colors. It's basically kind of pretty close to the colors that you see there. It's basically like white and light blue. Not really big into those colors, but this kit looks really super good, painted up in some other different MSV colors. So there's a lot of different options. I'm gonna go with some other MSV color scheme for this. But if you guys didn't see, I got this in a box not too long ago in a package, and I got a lot of comments in that people were interested in seeing this kit. I wasn't actually planning on getting this snapped up like straight away, but a lot of people showed interest in seeing this, so figure I'll just snap this up and review it for you guys. I explained in that video that the reason I got this was because a friend of mine in the States has tried sending me this kit twice, and it got lost in the mail twice, so I just bought one myself, and I'll just paint this up and then send that to him, just kind of as sort of repayment for that anyway. But just going around the box, it's just typical P-Bandai box, so nothing really too much to see around here. 4,800 yen for the list price for this. It's not too much more than just the standard list price for the regular Gelgoog kit. I've always wanted to build the Master Grade 2.0 Gelgoog kit because it looks really super nice, but I've never gotten the chance, but so now's a good chance. So I'm sure we're probably going to have a lot of leftover parts, as usually tends to happen in these recolors. This is pretty much just a recolor with some different water slides. You can't really see them too well in there at the moment, but of course this is going to have some new parts for the cannon parts, which look to be these parts here, and a loose one in there that came off the runner. But yeah, this kit also has a really super nice looking and very detailed inner frame, which I think will be really cool and fun to build. Very similar to the Master Grade 2.0 Zaku, and Goof, and Gyan. They all have very nice inner frames. So, a whole lot of stuff in here. Let's find the runner manual here at the bottom. So, here we've just got the regular Gelgoog manual. So this will just kind of go through the whole construction for that, and the decal placement, parts list, all of that. A whole bunch of images here showing off the inner frame and things like that. Painting guide, normal manual stuff, but here is what is new for this kit, just an extra little bit here. It's got some notes on the parts list, I guess some parts that you, like this manual won't show them to be parts that you're omitting, but this manual is showing you to actually omit those parts like they would be actually used on the main kit, but in this version I think they're just stuff that are different colors. Like for this here, that looks like it's just like the kneecap parts, which are in like dark blue, but they're actually here on this runner because they're supposed to be white. So just color change things, and then there's some new parts here. It looks like these are maybe the parts from the main kit, and these are the new parts. So it looks like maybe just like one big runner of the new parts for this, so not really a whole lot gonna be different. Well, no, I guess there's some more. Yeah, because there's new parts like for the head and other things as well. So just going through the construction of that is just showing you that you're going to be using some other different parts instead of other parts, different parts for the heads, a few different parts for the arm, just different parts for the legs just because of the color basically, and then just like the backpack and launcher things there on the forearm. And that's pretty much it. Here on the back is just like the paint guide and color guide there, decal markings for that. Alright, so let's check out the runners. Alright, so here we have our water slide decal sheet for this. Luckily, this is a P-Bandai kit, so it does come with a few water slides, not a whole lot, but there's some really cool MSV style markings for this, which is nice. There's no foil stickers or anything else like that, dry transfers, anything, nothing else like that with this kit. It does have one single screw, which is kind of odd. Usually I find on these Master Grade kits with these screws, in many cases they really don't need it. Like it does help, I guess, give you a little bit more security in there, but I usually assemble them just without it at first, and then just kind of see if it's really needed. We have polycaps here, PC111 for some polycaps here in standard gray. Then we also have PC201 for a little bit larger polycaps here for that as well. Alright, so here we have runner A. It's a 3-color runner, all in that kind of like light blue color there. It's a nice like light pale blue. And then a few parts here in white just for seated and standing pilot figures, the cockpit hatch, and then a few parts here in clear for like the visor and cameras. The runner marking for these is an MG 1/100 scale Gelgoog version 2.0, and unfortunately has this kind of runner marking with the A where it's not cut out, is where it was just like printed on there. So these that makes these runners a little bit harder to see the letter on there, but that's alright. Then we have runner B is another 3-color runner here, one dark blue part for the shield, white part for the shield, and I think that's a beam naginata, I believe is what that's called. And then the effect parts for that, so just the straight clear yellow beams, and then these kind of curved, more sort of like sword shaped ones. The Gelgoog Cannon actually doesn't use these weapons. I'm not sure, maybe it does have a naginata, but the shield and the rifle it doesn't really use, but I think we're going to have all the parts to make that, so you can just keep those to use for something else. Personally, I've always loved the look of like an RX-782 Gundam using a Gelgoog shield. Actually, it looks really cool. I've seen a couple of customs doing that, so might have to keep that in mind. Anyway, this is runner C, just all in that light blue color. It's basically just these 8 parts. That's it, just parts for the lower legs, some very large parts here. Also just kind of interesting that this is kind of part of the frame, but it's kind of molded together with the kind of outer armor, so I think that's going to be kind of layered in the frame there, so we'll have to see when it all comes together. Here's runner D, still in that light blue color, and this is some parts for the forearms and parts for the head. It's all still parts from the original 2.0, so nothing new here. We can see we do have a couple optional parts there, whether you want to have the commander antenna. You have a couple different options for the commander antenna as well. One that's kind of a little bit more like anime accurate, and one that's a little bit more kind of 2.0 looking, and then one for just regular helmet without that. Then we have runner E1, which is still again in the same color, just a few more parts here for that. Looks like mostly kind of for the leg and shoulder armor there. So you have 2 of this E1 runner. And then we have runner E2, making the other half of the E runner, and this half is in white. So we have 2 of this side as well for some parts there for like the thigh, upper arm, and top of the foot. Alright, now we're getting into the frame parts here. Is runner F. This is in just gray ABS plastic, and we do have 2 of this F runner. Next, runner G, you can see, is also in this gray ABS plastic for more inner frame stuff. You can see we also have the hands here that's going to have individually articulated fingers. Looks like the 3-in-1 type fingers, but it looks like it has like the 3 fingers that are connected together. You could separate those apart if you were so inclined. Runner H, still more ABS gray inner frame parts. A lot of this really awesome detail here for inside the skirts. Love that inner frame looking like that is really cool. Alright, runner I, still gray, but now we're back to just regular polystyrene plastic, so no more ABS. This is all still from the 2.0 as well, just more fantastic looking detailed inner frame here. Runner J, a smaller runner, but just more of the same, just kind of smaller parts, some thruster bells, things like that, and we do have 2 of this J runner. Then runner K is back to a dark blue color. This is actually different from the dark blue shield part that we saw on the B runner. That was more just kind of navy. This is still kind of navy, but it's definitely a different tone of navy, so that'll be interesting to see those 2 colors together. But here we have basically the parts for the rifle, the standard Gelgoog type rifle. I think the Char's version, I believe, doesn't have these extra parts for like making the bipod and the grenade launcher in the front. I think that'd be these parts here, this section. I think are not included with the Char's version, but again, we're not actually going to use any of this stuff for this kit. I'll just be able to keep this to use for some kind of other different custom or something like that later on. And this is kind of a surprise. Actually, it probably really shouldn't come as too much of a surprise knowing Bandai, but runner K1 here is all of our parts for the Gelgoog Cannon parts. And the reason this is K1 and not like later on down the runner markings is because this is actually from that original Master Grade kit. So this runner is from 1997. Yeah, that's not very appreciated that they couldn't make some new cannon parts for this, but hey, as long as they look good, and they do look pretty fine, I think they really could have made them better if they made a new set, but hey, 1997 parts on a nice new 2.0 Master Grade, why not? But then back to the 2.0, here we have just runner L, more light blue parts for some of the armor section around the waist. And then we have our new parts, which are the parts that are actually totally new specifically for this kit. So M1 here you can see is actually marked for Gelgoog Cannon there at the top, and this is 2014 specifically for this kit. So here we have new parts for the head and a couple new parts there. I believe those are for the arm. Then we have runner M2, which is a copy of this section of the runner there. And then we have runner M3, which is a copy of this section, or it's not a copy, sorry, it's just this section of this runner that they've made anyway, but it's just some parts here in white. And these parts I'm pretty sure are not actually new. They're just parts that do exist exactly the same, I believe, on other runners, but just now in different colors. I don't know, the knee armor actually might be a little bit differently shaped. Anyway, that is it for the unboxing, guys. We'll take a look at the review coming up next. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you're wondering where you can get this kit, I really don't know. As far as I know, Bandai hasn't done a reissue of this. They occasionally do reissue P-Bandai kits, but I don't think they have for this one, and I really wish that they would. It would make it a lot easier for people to find, but as it is, it's not a very easy kit to find. So I don't know, trying some different sites like AmiAmi or places that sell like stuff directly from Japan, especially like secondhand stuff like Mandarake as well, would probably be a good place to look, or eBay. Just don't pay too much for it, because I think you probably could just kit bash it yourself, buying just the regular Gelgoog kit and then the old Gelgoog Cannon kit, I mean the 2.0 Gelgoog and then the old Gelgoog Cannon. Then you can kind of just probably make it yourself like that, but I don't know, you won't have the waterslide decals, and there's a couple new parts you won't have, but we'll see how it comes together in the review. I'll show that to you guys. Anyway, thank you guys always for watching. Leave any other questions and comments down below. I'll see you guys in the review. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time.